It's pandemonium in Atlanta. We're talking about a couple of amazing matches that happened tonight on NXT with you, the viewer, so don't go anywhere, I guess.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Tuck it! I wish we had enough room to like strut. Like he was. Dozer was lit tonight. He was meat drunk.
I'm always lamenting that my arms are so long. I can't effectively be.
It's not so much that his arms are short, it's that the rest of him is so ungodly large and inflated. It makes his arms look short.
His arms are a little itty bitty.
Well,
if he lost some of the midsection, his arms would get longer. I guarantee it.
That's not how that works.
That is how it works.
did you hear about the new piece of merch that they're getting?
What are they getting?
They're so beefy. Coming soon to WWE Shop, the meat sweats.
Nice.
No, what they should make is heavy machinery, because you know they actually make meat brands that you can brand your steak
branding
with heavy
Oh
machinery
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
for steaks.
Or like a dog toy that's just the steak,
You know,
and then a dog toy that's a weight.
I know that people from NXT watch this show.
That's sometimes.
Yeah.
So hire one of us.
Oh.
Like hire him as a wrestler, hire me as just a guy to make you guys a lot of money.
I'll make you laugh.
Yeah.
That's honestly, people have been hired because they make people laugh.
Is that
You
true?
don't actually have to have any credentials if people like you. They'll just give you a job. Hey, go do this.
You also-
But first, tell me the story about the hooker that one time.
We also live in Los Angeles where you don't need credentials to do anything.
True. You just need to be confident enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look like you know what you're doing.
You need to know people.
Some people.
I know people. I know of people.
Man, this
Hear
was
our
a
voices.
this was a fun
Like Randy
episode. This was a fun episode of WWE's NXT available on the WWE Network.
You're Mark Donica.
I'm Mark Donica. You can find me on. Oh, that's what you're saying. You can find me on Twitter at Mark Donica because I'm Mark B Donica. That's the hobo.
What up? H-O-B-O, True Hobo, on the Twitter. Robert Baines,
H-O-B-O.
on the stuff.
It's not television, it's HOBO.
Yeah.
And it's also Bill Hanstock.
Hey, how do you not have a shirt that's the HBO logo yet?
You know, I've thought about it a long time ago, and I'm like, yeah, but it's like weird branding.
Dude, it's not TB.
It's H-O-B-O.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Hanstock. You can follow me on everywhere at Sunday Motel. I need to beef up my... Yeah, that rim shot was right, just spot on, like instant.
Remember, we do the show for Steve and Steve only.
I can see to beef up my Instagram followers, so if you like pictures of beef and cats...
And cats, you little
Cats.
kitty.
Yeah, I got a little kitty. He got his balls cut off. That's where I was last week. What's up, everybody? Sunday Motel.
Ladies, it's not HPV, it's HOBO. Thanks to Mr.
You're
Sarkasaur.
welcome.
Get tested. Man, we were so off the rails that Steve had to course correct us within 5 minutes.
Everybody tries that. It rarely works. On Monday, we were talking about eating alligators, and they were like, stay on course, stay on topic. Hey, screw you.
Hey,
if we
that
want
was
to
on
talk about
topic.
eating alligators, we are going to talk about eating alligators.
Thank you. But this is the NXT After Show. We'll talk a little bit about NXT.
Yeah.
Let's start with the match that was supposed to start off, a tag team title match between Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus Sanity. But Sanity attacked them before the match even started, and they had security in there.
Dirty birdies.
Dane was beating up security guys
Moaning
left
pandas.
and right.
Moaning pandas.
Just the worst.
Yeah, was
Awful.
real wild.
Now that we talked about that, how's your weekend? I'm kidding. Regal says it all ends tonight, which, you know, when they say that in wrestling, it's usually what it means.
Yeah, it's always the case.
Once in a lifetime. But they make a all of Sanity versus all of Undisputed Era Tornado 6-man
Not
tag.
all of Sanity.
Yeah, I know. I was like, when's Nikki Cross
He
going to come
said
out?
all of Sanity, and I had my hopes up. Crazy Nikki.
That includes Nikki, but Nikki was nowhere to be seen.
Darling Nikki.
Nowhere Nikki.
Come on, Nikki.
Come on, Nikki! Different Nikki.
Nikki.
But this match is made. Undisputed Era runs with their tails between their legs and
Beat up security. Security
Yeah.
got a lot of beating.
highlight of WWE social media today was the retweet of the GIF of Kyle O'Reilly air guitar. Well, not even
Sort
air
of,
guitaring.
like-
strumming the
He's not,
title
his hand,
belt.
this hand did not move.
I gotta say though, like
Gotta say,
that the Undisputed Era theme like does lend itself well to like butthole air guitar.
it's butt rock.
It is.
It's like Gallows and
Yeah.
Henderson. Oh man, but it was the gif of him playing it and the simple quotation of it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a life.
It's a lifestyle.
Kyle O'Reilly. It's a lifestyle.
It was supposed to be our moment.
It's supposed to be our moment. Do you want to take that again? No, I thought it was great.
No, first one. Out of the park.
But it almost seemed like
He's
we
the
didn't even.
Galaxy Quest.
He's the red shirt.
It was supposed to be our moment.
Hey, Kyle, how did you think your title match went? I was humorous. Do you think when they go up against Heavy Machinery, they're going to take a look at Otis and go, Greg neck. Anyway,
Yep.
It almost seemed like there wasn't even a commercial break because we were talking or something, and the moment just went from Undisputed Era leaving to Heavy Machinery coming out. It seemed almost instant. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I just blacked out for a minute for the Got Big Dreams, but ultimately, Heavy Machinery was out for a match against Sabatelli and Moss, and dear God, was the Dozer just on it tonight.
He was
What a
turned up
performance.
to 15. Forget 10, forget 11. He was on his way to 20. That
Yeah.
guy is out of control. So much energy in such a large package. Maybe that's why he looks the way he does. He just absorbs energy.
He's just pure mass.
He's like Majin Buu.
He's
He
a
just
dying
keeps
star.
sucking it up.
Strong guy.
I turn you into chocolate.
Gross.
That was for Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
She was wondering, and we
DBZ
answered,
fan.
yeah.
Big DBZ fan.
Big.
So you guys find it as hilarious as I do when Vegeta hugs Trunks and then karate chops him in the neck?
Of course.
One of the things that I used to love was when Trunks first went Back to the Future. And he looks over at Vegeta, and Vegeta's standing by the chair, and he gives him one of these. And then Trunks kind of like goes, Dad, and then walks away. But I was just like, what the hell is that? You connected with your future son.
Only they know. Only they know.
Shout out to our
My
audio
density.
listeners
Yes.
also that just saw that wonderful
Yeah, that's good.
silent radio. We're
Give him
making
one of
great
these.
radio here.
Yep. One of these.
Sharkstore says again his little toddler scramble was this week's giftable Otis moment. Totally
For
agree.
real. His little legs.
I would say put the belt on him, but no belt fits him.
Right. How many
Put
belts?
the belt near him. Drape it about him.
Well, that's how they sell the reproduction belts. They also sell the extenders. That's how
they
you
do,
sell the
yeah.
extenders.
Extender. There we might get it
Well,
to
like
fit.
when Jericho used to wear like both tag team titles around their necks.
Yeah,
as one long boa drape.
So so Tucky doesn't even get to wear. They each wear a pair of tag team titles.
Just staple the old NXT title to the new NXT title.
No way.
Why not?
Unified NXT tag team title.
Yeah. There was never a real dispute. But all the same, we needed the other belts.
We just need some more.
Just like when Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels had the match for the two Intercontinental titles, like, well, we know one of them's fake.
right.
Well, it was almost like when Pac 3 showed up on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and there were 3 title belts. You're like, what? Why do you have?
Only I know the real story.
I know. Well, no,
behind
you
that.
told us the
'Cause
story
I used
too.
to have
but-
those belts, so I know what really happened.
Sharkosaur says they gave Alexa a shorter belt, so anything is possible.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Pepsi
they have
fan-
to modify it for her because otherwise, like the
would
end
just-
would be
Oh,
flat.
that's
then.
really funny. Because usually they just don't care. Just put it on your shoulder.
It looked so ridiculous on her that like the normal size belt that they had to like trim like the thickness of it, like the height of it, and the length.
Well, see, at Pro Wrestling, they really don't care. Eli Everfly won the turkey title.
Isn't as big as the title.
It almost envelops him. Like, it almost consumes him when he's wearing it.
They made a giant belt for the smallest man.
Yeah, well, no, they made a giant belt. The smallest man happened to win it, so, but they don't care.
He's no turkey. Pepsi Fan 24 in the chat saying, "No way Jose is Goku and Dozer is Boo." Next time on Dragon Ball NXT. PW Gregory, chance of Tino sucks. One man tried to start a Riddick sucks. Nothing. Because nobody could figure out who was Riddick.
Also, they were like, "Hey, shut up! I love the Chronicles of Riddick, idiot."
It's one of the
Pitch
seminal
Black's
works
my
of,
favorite movie.
and Escape from Butcher Bay is one of the most underrated video games of all time. You know, Vin Diesel developed it. That was a Kyle O'Reilly thing to say. But Xeno Hour with very good advice.
Vin Diesel developed it.
He's the wrestling equivalent of actually Kyle O'Reilly.
He's also like severely concussed Oprah.
What?
Like that's the key to the Kyle O'Reilly like cadence.
Okay.
It was supposed to be our moment.
You get a moment.
Yeah.
You get a moment. So this match barely had any Moss and Sabatelli. There's a little bit where
Well,
the
Rolling
guy.
Stone gathers no moss.
Is that the first time we've used that?
Yeah.
God
Maybe.
bless you.
Yeah.
But they got a little bit of an advantage on Takaya, but it didn't last too long. What do they call the super compactor? Is that
Yeah.
Just the compactor.
Just the compactor?
You're thinking of the super collider.
I am thinking of the super collider.
Yeah.
But never does it look fun. But Sabatelli and Moss took a huge loss.
Well, Moss tried to do the same trick twice, rolled up Tucky, feet on the ropes. Referee Drake not having it.
No.
I mean, clearly not having it. Almost to where he was ready to pull out a weapon and
Drake was
settle
on
the
the
odds.
6.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tucker, who's watching the show based on recent Twitter activity. Hi, Tuck.
Oh.
But
Greetings,
Tucker.
meat man.
Love you, meat man. But Tino did play in the NFL. He did.
Sure.
Bearing on the conversation, we
He's
appreciate your view.
Got a car. What do you what?
But that's the thing. Who gets who? If so, they teased this little breakup where like he was like down on one knee proposing something, and we'll never know, I suppose.
Yeah.
And Moss just like a runaway bride left him standing there at the altar that is ringside. Who gets
Said something
custody
like,
of the Maz in the
My
suit?
man would be able to beat the heavy machinery.
Who gets custody of the suit in the car? Well, it's
The one suit.
the one
they
suit
have.
that they have together. It's clearly Tino
They
Sabatelli
adopted it.
because he paid for everything.
I would give anything for a photo shoot of them in one suit together, like just doing like
Are
the
getting a long
two-headed
suit?
monster, yeah.
Yeah.
Are getting a long suit. And now the chat is off on DBZ. Vegeta is killing it on Dragon Ball Super. I believe you.
Okay.
And now, oh my God, cut that Corvette in half.
yeah. It's a Maserati, but yeah.
Otis probably, but Heavy Machinery with the win. While we saw them go up against the Authors of Pain back when they were champions, what do we think? Both Heavy Machinery and the Street Profits are poised for a big 2018. They were some of the breakout stars last year. How close to the tag team titles do you think Heavy Machinery are at this point in time?
I'd say they're in a good spot. I mean, granted, they have to meet up with TM61 here pretty soon. TM61's got some space to really. They got to make it up. They've been out for so long. They got to reestablish themselves and prove that they deserve a shot. And they're going to have to go through, Heavy Machinery and all those other teams just to be relevant.
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery, I'd say, is probably poised in the best position, but as of right now, it's really hard to tell because of all of the shenanigans happening sort of around the belts. Not necessarily having to do directly with the tag team titles,
yeah.
but everything that's going on around it. And nothing can happen with those titles until the sort of ruckus is rectified.
the dust has settled.
Yeah.
Rectify that ruckus.
Rectify the ruckus.
Rectify!
That's our EP dropping next month. Rectify the ruckus.
I bet Otis Dozovic could eat a whole car.
I bet he could.
Like piece by piece.
Sure, piece by piece, but like over how many instances? How many
Servings.
sittings?
Sittings.
Like one sitting, but it's a long sitting.
It's a long sitting.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long weekend.
Right now the NXT tag team division reminds me of the pre-DIY authors revival, like glory, like golden age of tag team wrestling.
So like Ascension, Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, Lucha Dragons, Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass. American Alpha, and Revival. Like that was like, especially like regarding Enzo and Cass and American Alpha and Vaudevillains. It was, and Lucha Dragons too. It was like, okay, all of these teams are clearly going to get a shot at the title, or they're all clearly going to get title reigns.
Yeah,
and like especially with Enzo and Cass, it's like, when are these guys going to get the title reign? Because they like. That's all anybody wants from these guys, and they never got it.
Yeah,
they didn't need it.
I know they didn't need it.
In my estimation.
But still, it's one of those like.
But I envision Heavy Machinery as possibly being the team that doesn't get a run with the tag team titles because they'll probably not need it. They definitely are poised to be as like fervently beloved as Enzo and Cass, where like, let us not lose sight of how much NXT was in love with Enzo and Cass as a tag team.
Rightfully so. Yeah. They were the hottest commodity for a good long while. They didn't need any belts to get to the top, and they got to the top pretty damn quick.
Because American Alpha captured our hearts in that we wanted them as people to realize their goal, especially with Jordan having struggled for so long and Gable being so undeniably charismatic, that we were like legitimately like in love with American Alpha, and we're like, we need them to triumph. With Enzo and Cass, it was just like, they deserve it. Yeah. So I imagine with Heavy Machinery, like we could very much be that, like, we love these guys and it would be awesome to see them get the titles someday, but maybe it won't happen.
Well, I think especially because of their size, it seems like a foregone conclusion that nobody will be able to beat them. Yeah. And the last time they fought, Sabatelli and Moss, we saw them lose, albeit it was and same thing with Austin Payne at Takeover. Yeah. We never thought that we would see them lose with a roll up of all things. So it's one of those things where they set them up. We're being set up with Heavy Machinery with talk all night and or what's your machinery. But but I think we're being set up with Heavy Machinery to just fight for them no matter what. In that same way that we were for Enzo and Cass. I don't care what they do. They need to win.
Because how I see it is like Authors, Sanity, and Undisputed Era have already had tag title reigns. TM61 I think will get the tag titles at some point. I think when they finally get the tag titles, that's going to be a huge like moment of relief for everyone. Yeah. Because people really want TM61 to like be successful, and they keep like stalling out. And I think they'll probably keep stalling out for a little while, but when they finally win the tag team titles, it's going to be a big thing for us as fans. And Street Profits are honestly kind of the closest to American Alpha that we've had since American Alpha left, just in the sense of like a extremely long struggling tag team guy finally finds the missing component in this like revolutionary like instant like lightning in a bottle newcomer that like gets us on the side of that tag team immediately.
You're right.
And as people, I would love to see the Street Profits win. Sure. Just especially we've been hearing about them for quite some time, like, and seeing them perform.
I kind of feel like Street Profits will win the tag titles at some point just for the celebrate in the crowd with the tag titles. Yeah. Like moment.
And even after the show, it'll end a taping, but it won't end a show.
Oh, guys.
Sort of a thing.
What if they win the tag titles and then get again, NXT, you could hire me and like actually do these ideas?
What are you talking about? They've been paying us for years.
That's right.
If the Street Profits win the tag titles, little NXT Tag Title Championship koozies that go over your solo cup.
Yeah, they go over the
you could have these ideas, like, because right now I own these ideas, but like if you hired me, then they could be
TM.
right.
Well, we'll just steal them.
TM.
They'll just take them.
This is copyrighted material.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years. If you just say copyright real loud. Yep.
I whispered my thoughts into an envelope and mailed them to myself, and now it has a trademark.
And it went through a notary, and those words have been stamped. They've
been
mine.
notared.
They've been notared. Get your peds
Larry
sped or notared.
Larry the Cable Guy joke over here. Yeah, I went to a notary, got it notared.
That's how you get notared. That's how you get notared in this business.
That was not Larry the Cable Guy.
It was more like that was more like.
That's how you get notared in this business.
Hey,
Eight
holy
years
crap!
ago.
Wow, you're behind that.
Shoot.
Wow.
Anyway, been watching a lot of Cars lately. That's not true.
That's a lonely answer.
Tomater.
Tomater. I'm back up real good. But speaking of Southern cars in worlds where humans may or may not exist, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Johnny
I see
Gargano does look a lot like Turbo Teen mid-transformation. That's true.
Turbo Teen? You throw Turbo Teen at me?
Is that not the reference we were going for?
I thought you were going to go Speed Buggy, honestly. But,
Speed Buggy impression with the hobo voice is
pretty spot on.
pretty good.
It's pretty spot on. So speaking of Johnny Gargano, we'd like to take this moment to talk about Xbox 12360, which is another show that we tape here on the AfterBuzz TV network, and you can subscribe to the podcast just by searching for Xbox 12360. Today we had Johnny Gargano on the show.
What?
Live.
Johnny Gargamel himself.
Yeah, he was talking about eating Smurfs and his cats.
Much like Gargamel's nemesis, he is also 3 apples high.
Sure, that's what Michael Hayes thinks.
Oh man.
I just walking around backstage like, but damn.
But if you go to Xbox One or 360, download the show now while you're waiting for this madness to end, and take a listen to the show. We had a wonderful time having him on the show.
You guys ever think about how the Smurfs are supposed to be 3 apples high, and then think about how terrifying a size that is?
Why is it terrifying?
It's like
Well, because you like, okay. The Smurfs live in mushrooms, right?
yes, they do.
So imagine if they're just slightly bigger than normal mushrooms. That is their house, and that's how big, like, I think Smurfs should be. But instead,
But they're 3 apples high. Those are giant mushrooms.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So it's not like you're just like wandering through the forest and like walk through some big toadstools and don't notice anything. It's like, oh god,
It was the 70s.
the smell. All right,
Garga smell.
Garga smell.
We are being insisted
Canceled?
upon. Well, we are canceled, but we're being insisted upon by the chat to continue with the show.
Oh,
So let's
Y'all don't want to talk about Smurfs? But why?
Smurfs.
But why?
You want to talk about Smurfs?
Smurfs.
I was
Smurfs, y'all.
Smurfs, y'all.
expect you to talk about the show, brother.
I was more of a snork man myself, but let's
Smurfs
yeah.
were pretty dope.
it's pretty Smurfs, y'all. Snorks were pretty dope.
Yep.
But let's talk about Johnny Gargano.
Dongo.
He talks about how he has had one hell of a month, and that he has earned your respect, and that's better than any championship.
Whole game.
Good for him. But title or no title, he is who he says. He is
who he say.
He is who he says. Johnny
Gargano.
Gargano, Johnny freaking wrestling.
Frank him.
And then he talks about how he Tommaso Ciampa, I'm coming for you. 1-on-1, man to man.
No, they normally say he looks like Shalissa. All right,
Who's
go on. Yeah, go on.
Me. But he gets interrupted by Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega, who
No
say
air humps. He doesn't deserve them
no.
anymore.
He gave
No,
one
he
of
earned 'em.
these and a thumbs down.
Oh, that's Batista's thing.
Yeah, right. No, whatever. You didn't
Clipboard?
Clipboard. Welcome to Clip Cup. I'm your host, Daniel. Yeah, Clip Cup.
Yeah.
Look up. It's a popular web series, Clip Cup. That's like Tosh.0, but better. Anyway, it was. Zelina saying you
That's my
didn't.
soul leaving my body.
It'll be back.
It won't be.
You didn't prove anything other than you're a loser, Johnny Loser.
Oh, damn.
Whoa! She's throwing out the L word.
Candace comes out, fights Zelina away, and they end up proposing a match. William Regal has not made it official.
Well, I mean,
but,
Johnny Gargano started
He
it.
accepted it.
yeah, he accepted it, but it's still not like
Well,
they
he was the
don't
one like,
they don't make
if you
matches.
let me have that a shot at that championship one more time, I will leave if I do not win it. And they went, yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah, and that's great.
Loser leaves
But-
town.
They really don't have much to lose because he's already been the champion, and like it's not like Almas has to leave if he loses.
No,
Right.
but it's one of those things where
Almost was just in the Royal Rumble. I don't think they really care.
So Regal was dealing with this stuff at the top of the show of Sanity and Undisputed Era. It's like we can't. I am so done with this. I'm doing paperwork now that Takeover is done. We have to start thinking of a new number 1 contender. And then like some page like, hey, so do you want to hear what's going on outside? It's like, what is happening, sunshine? And so he's planning all this
knuckles
stuff
off the pillow.
Yeah, like he's planning like a number 1 contender match. He's going through like, well, Aleister Black has been having a good year, blah, blah, blah. He's doing all this work. And then all of a sudden, these two jamokes, I'm sorry I'm going there, but I'm going
Strong
there.
language. Put the explicit tag on this one, Steve.
Can we please?
Blizzard.
But these two jamokes go out there and start making their own matches. Regal didn't.
Herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily.
Yep,
Thank you.
there we go.
Thank you very much. But that's what I mean. Is Regal could have had a plan, and I mean, take over New Orleans. That's huge.
There's a lot of paperwork involved in creating a new number 1 contender. It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
It-
So
you know,
that's what
it's-
I'm saying.
I've already filed the number 1 contender paperwork.
It sure is interesting that Johnny Gargano decides to grow a pair right when his wife shows up. He's got to show
now he's
who's
confident.
boss.
He's confident in their paycheck now. It's like, well, if she's making a paycheck.
No, Johnny's
well,
like,
she's here. She's got to make the money, so I can leave if I want to and be a stay-at-home husband and cook and clean and give her slippers and a martini when she gets home.
Gargano's like, well, ever since Chain Chomp left, now I finally have someone to come and watch my back and make sure that nobody throws upsetting shirts at me anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he sat it down and was like, now look, Candace, when I am out there, you know what's going to happen if I see one of those shirts. You keep it away from me.
That's right.
I am going to be no good to anyone if I see a DIY shirt.
He's so high maintenance. But you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
If Tommaso Ciampa were a rapper, his name would be T-Chomp. Yeah.
Or Psycho Killer.
Yeah, Psycho Killer. That's what I thought.
No,
Went
T-Chomp.
way too obvious.
Yeah.
Killer
No, it works.
Norman Bates.
The chat also, despite wanting us to move on, they love how it devolved into a cartoon conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Cartoon conversations coming soon. To
We've hit a lot today.
A podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually hit a lot of
Guys,
believe
believe it or not, we're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we're pretty ahead. Yeah.
This is our least digressive.
We're keeping it together.
Yeah.
God
We're
bless us.
Give us
still
a minute.
up on 2
Everyone.
wheels on 1 rail.
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh,
The slightest move.
Then we got Shayna Baszler in the back saying that it took 1 month to become the most feared woman in NXT. There's not going to be a rematch because Ember Moon is scared.
She's the best. Her and Zelina are the best promos in the company right now.
I can agree with that.
oh, Zelina for sure.
Because
Lars.
Baszler's attitude is unbelievable. She doesn't give a crap because she knows she could kill anyone else with her bare hands. She's like, whatever, go ask these other people. It's whatever.
I'm surprised she didn't glare at one of the phones that was being held up to her and the screen didn't crack. I'm real surprised that didn't
She
happen.
just takes one and eats it.
Well, that's what happens when you get in my way of catering. Roddy versus Tyler Bate is happening. Nope, that's not true. Roddy versus Pete Dunne is happening next week, and they're talking to Tyler Bate about his loss. He says he congratulates Roddy, but doesn't want to be count out yet. And winning match of the year was an amazing achievement, but he looks to have many more matches of the year with a lot of NXT's current folks. So it looks like they're starting to diversify the 205 Live roster, the UK roster, and the NXT roster in terms of just having everybody fight together and mingle and wrestle.
Roderick Strong's in a great position right now. He's in the 205 tournament, got a big win over Hideo Itami, and he's in the European, yeah, I get hit in the head a lot. The UK title scene,
Nice.
and he's really doing well there. Honestly, he's set to win 2 championships, or at least one way or another. He is an integral part of what they're trying to do right now. He's in an absolutely fantastic position.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Just like Miley Cyrus, he has the best of both worlds.
You know what? If there was somebody I would equate Roderick Strong to, it would be Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, not Van Halen,
Miley
but
Cyrus
definitely
is-
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus is a pretty good actor, though.
Oh, well.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of amazing actors, anyway, speaking of people that have the it factor, let's talk about that. Bianca Bel-Air took on, I couldn't really hear it very well, but Jessix Hill? So like Jessica, but not.
And her opponent, Jessica.
Well, they didn't announce it. It was just over. Tell me what you know about her opponent.
Should have just given the names of her arms. So her arms were really commanding.
Yes, they were.
That whole scene.
It was a 3-on-1 match.
Yeah.
Arms and person versus Bianca Belair, of whom Bianca Belair got
Made short work.
very short work. It was a handshake to Argentine backbreaker to like squats,
The squats, the burning hammer.
burning hammer,
Burning.
and the alley-oop for the win. Short work. The EST of NXT reigns supreme.
What's in the EST?
Like greatest, quickest, fastest,
Oh.
strongest. So EST, and I like that a lot. I'm a big fan of Bianca, and I'm excited to see where she goes because I think this is going to be a big year for her too.
I mean, she was like Shayna Baszler, but with strength. Shayna Baszler's like got the skill to put anybody away, and now it looks like now Bianca Belair's the opposite. She's got all of the power and can do with it what she wants.
Yeah.
Which I don't know yet if she's going to abuse it. She certainly doesn't seem to have to abuse it because she makes such quick work of everybody.
I think it's time, and I agree. The chat's actually moving pretty fast tonight. But oh no, there it is. Sharkosaur. They reiterated. It's time for Bianca to move on to named opponents. Like, cause she had such a big Mae Young Classic, and her match with Kairi Sane was one of the best of the tournament. So I would like to see. We have so many women in the women's division right now. Let's get more singles matches that are just singles matches.
It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen after WrestleMania because
Yeah, I could see that.
There's a real. We've talked about it a million times. There's a real log jam of women's talent in NXT right now, and a lot of these women are super ready to come up to the main roster. And after WrestleMania is when that happens.
Yep.
So I imagine there's going to be a mass call up at some point after WrestleMania from the women. Like Ember's probably ready to go up. Other women, Nikki Cross, maybe.
Well, if Nikki Cross,
Like if Sanity goes up,
I don't think one goes up without the other.
really?
Yeah. If
Yeah, I think
they're
that's
trying to
probably
make if they're trying to make Sanity, if they're trying to keep Sanity what it is,
Right. Although Nikki and Sanity haven't really been like seen.
I wonder if they're trying to
No.
disassociate.
Maybe a little bit. Like it seems like they're starting to appear separately more frequently. So maybe they're trying to separate her. Maybe she'll go up to the main roster as is.
Because the
but-
weird thing is, like, they just had a mass talent call up from the women, but it was like none of the women that we expected to get called
Right,
up.
yeah.
It was like all the women who were like in that tier below, like, oh, they're super ready to be on the main roster.
Yeah. It was weird, but I thinking about it now, I'm a little surprised that Bianca wasn't in the Royal Rumble. I'm at least a little surprised.
I
Both
think
her and Nikki,
they're-
I think, are two of the NXT talents where it's like, oh, interesting. If we were trying to show more of the future, those would have been two completely different styles and showings that could have been like, oh, I need to see what happens with them on NXT.
Bianca's getting a little bit of the dream treatment, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're featuring her, but it's always putting her in a position where she looks incredibly strong. She never looks weak in any particular way. They're just handling her really carefully so that when she gets that opportunity, and she'll get a big opportunity, it's not like all of a sudden she's going to start getting this winning streak. It's going to be she's going to fit her in a perfect spot with a big opportunity and kill it, and that's going to be what sends her off, just like Dream.
Yeah, we need to resolve this Ember Shayna thing, and then, then it'll be time for. Oh well, Iconic Duo. Like if they don't get called up after WrestleMania, like what the heck?
That's another thing. Is the Iconic Duo? Where have they been? Other the last major thing we saw of them was the Fatal 4-Way and then the subsequent aftermath between them and Ember, and then them lobbying for the NXT awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really weird that they haven't really been featured. All right, let's talk about this main event at least a little bit. Sanity versus the Undisputed Era. Anything goes. You know,
just bonkers, crazy pants, nothing but
Bonkers,
fighting
crazy
and tables and candlesticks and just everything.
And this is the most clothed that Killian Dane has been since War Games, when he became nude for the first time.
yeah.
And now he has reclothed himself, which
At least
is
a little bit
upsetting. But, you know, this is a war, so you want to wear as many clothes as you can to a war. I've heard that.
It's
Yeah.
Unless you're, like, from Sparta.
That was
Well.
I read that in Encarta, the encyclopedia, the disc encyclopedia back in the day, but I don't know if that's still a thing. I think it's like 1996 knowledge. Is that still a thing? Is it just one of the things that sticks around?
Well, like, when you're, like, playing, like, PUBG or whatever, you got to, like, grab all the armor
That's true.
when you start out.
Yeah.
Like, if, like, you're not going to, like, run around in GoldenEye and, like, see armor and then be like, nah.
Well, it depends on who you're playing, you know.
Yeah.
If you
Slappers only.
slappers only, you're just
Yeah.
throwing the
Odd
hat.
job.
Yeah.
No odd jobs.
The mines.
Iconic had surgery, not necessarily injured.
Was it to conjoin them finally?
Wait. They weren't necessarily injured, but they had surgery. So, like, elective surgery?
What is it?
Like-
Sorry?
I haven't heard
Wow,
that.
our delay is actually really low, right? Like
Yeah,
we've only got like
really,
a 15, 20 second
weird.
delay. That's
I don't know
really
why
weird.
that is.
Yeah. But what? Any thoughts about this match other than pure chaos?
It was awesome.
It was really cool, but I don't think it translated too well on TV because they had to like quick cut to a lot of things. Some people ran away. The lighting wasn't super great because they weren't in complete control of it by not being in Full Sail. But
It's
it was
tough getting all the coverage. I can tell you from working on a TV show, it's really hard getting all the coverage in an absolute melee like that because you have to have 4 sides covered, and you can't always get 4 sides covered. And then they went to the back at one point, which takes out one of the cameras. It was so hard for them to get all of the coverage. They did a really good job, but it was definitely difficult.
Yeah, it was still awesome. Like, but from, you know, I talked to someone who was there, and they said, like, it was just, like, lights out, and, like, people were going nuts for it.
Yeah.
So, like, I imagine that that's a match that's way better in person, but,
yeah.
you know, it was still extremely fun to watch.
It seems like a live show match where it's just whatever, go nuts. People are going to watch where they're going to watch. We got some a little bit of a unstable hardcore element, but despite Sanity getting the win, I don't think this is close to over. Between like this will finish it. Oh, of course it will.
What I liked about the match is Dane was the deciding factor in it. He came in at the end and laid out all 3 members of Undisputed Era when it looked like Undisputed Era probably had it won. And, you know, he, like, plastered O'Reilly with that running crossbody.
Yeah.
And he did the Ulster plantation to Fish and got the pin. And I don't necessarily like that Fish is the one who always eats the pin for Undisputed Era, but, you know.
He's the technician.
Well,
Pin technician.
That's
you
why
get out of that one.
Who's the best at looking up at the lights?
Fish.
Bob-
He's got the mustache.
Bob-
Bob's face looks good on camera.
Bobo Fishman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should probably got a big fish in there.
That's why they call him Fish. He sees the fish.
But you're absolutely right. Killian Dane was the absolute deciding factor. There was nobody who had a bigger impact on the course of this match than he did, especially in the end. And even when he put himself through a table, he was able to come back from that and finish the match, completely defeating all 3 members of Undisputed on his own, nearly on his own. So that alone tells you that he is the thing that Undisputed Era needs to worry about. They have to eliminate Killian Dane in order to get a win in the future. If there's anything they can learn, it is that fact.
Do you think Sanity is going to be... Sanity is going to get another shot at the titles, 1, and 2, they didn't include Dane in the in their team composition. Do you think it's imperative for them to do that now, or do you think that Dane has really only shown himself in these multi-man, anything goes, hardcore situations? How well do you think he could do being quote constrained by the rules?
I think he would actually operate fairly well. Yes, they have to include him. It's got to be Wolf, Dane, and then Young on the outside just to eliminate Cole in any way. Eric Young and Cole, I think, are almost on the same level as far as intellect and knowing timing and how to best use themselves to change the tide of a match. So having Eric Young out on the outside with Cole, that'll eliminate that, and then the size advantage is going to be a hell of a determining factor.
Bill, by that same token, like Dane on the outside to neutralize Cole might be even more effective because there's no way Cole's like, yes, Cole is crafty and you want some wit to combat that, but it seems to eliminate. Cole would seem reluctant to go up against someone like Dane one-on-one, and so like eliminating, like trying to reduce the chance that Cole would try something with Dane being the one standing across from him.
Cole hits from all angles, and Dane is a guy who's not, he's fast, but only in a straight line. So you need somebody who can work on Cole's level and work the angles, and I think Eric Young is the man to do it. As far as if Dane's outside with Cole can move around him. Cole can dip and duck, and Dane can end up in the post or anywhere else for that matter. So I think it's really the place for Eric Young is on the outside to eliminate the Cole factor and let Wolf and Dane do the heavy lifting and all the damage because they're very good at it. They're really gifted at causing a lot of damage. It's their calling in life.
A legitimate ruckus.
A legitimate ruckus.
Thank you for agreeing.
Yeah.
But
NXT should sign Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus? Or no relation? Oh, no relation. Okay. All right. It was a fun show.
It was great.
We talked about it.
Now we loved it.
We talked about it last week. We're gonna discuss these here NXT awards if they're warranted or not. Well, that's kind of mean, but
That's rude.
Good
You're
lord.
gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't
The
mean
shovel,
it.
Mark.
I'm so sorry. Bury me with my shovel. How you gonna bury me if you bury
More
me
like
with my shovel?
Mark H. Donica.
I have one H. I'm still working on my other two. I'm going to school for my other two H's.
Mark Donica.
Wait, that's somebody different. The future star of the NXT award, which a huge cavalcade of current of people who've had hot 2017s. The winner being Cesar Bononi, which was a little surprising, but I think people see a lot in this guy.
He's the tallest.
They've certainly seen the most of him.
Yep.
No, I mean, like, he's been on NXT the most of these people.
And he got a lot of surprise victories here. He got one over
Got one surprise
Gargano.
victory.
He got one.
No. He had
He
one
beat
surprise.
somebody
Yeah, he had
substantive.
one upset victory, and then he got wrecked the next week because of it. Almost, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was almost.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That was right before Zelina showed up.
Yeah, and then Selena was there and almost just
Selena was
beat
like,
the
"No,
paint off his
you
car.
do not take this guff. You go out there and you give that guff back.
Yeah. Give it. Guff.
Guff giveth and
Well,
guff taketh
Cesar
away."
Bononi, he looks good. He's got size on his size. Size on his size.
Like Raphael, his
He's
size.
big.
As we will be hearing a lot in the month of March, he has tremendous length.
Yep.
March Madness, they keep talking about it. It's very
talk a lot about length
off-putting.
and-
They talk about how long the teams are, which is really upsetting because they're talking about college
College
boys.
kids. Yeah. Tag team of the year was Sanity. Takeover of the year was War Games, which featured Lars versus Ono, Black versus Dream, Ember versus Kyrie versus Cross versus Royce, and Almas versus McIntyre, and of course the War Games match.
Hard to disagree. That was a heavy show.
That was a hell of a show.
Yeah.
And Black and Dream, one of the best matches of the year. Some would say maybe second only to the match that did win match of the year, which was Bate versus Dunn and Takeover Chicago, which shut everybody up.
Yeah.
What a match that was.
Everyone's like, "Oh my!"
Yep.
There's more show. There's Bobby Roode
But I
and
have to
Hideo
go
Itami
change my pants.
Right.
again. Male competitor of the year was Aleister Black,
Yep.
of course.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Still unpinned Not undefeated, but
No, he got pinned in the Fatal 4-Way.
he was the pinned one?
Yeah.
Well, you
Gargano
see,
pinned him after Sullivan or...
I
whoever
didn't
laid
watch
out.
that week.
let's say in singles competition,
He's
still
undefeated
has,
in singles
He is yet
Yeah,
to
let's
be
do that.
defeated.
Female Competitor of the Year, Asuka. And then, which meant that the overall Competitor of the Year was between Alistair and Asuka, and of course, Asuka won.
Yeah, hard to argue.
Nobody's ready to go up against Asuka in a vote.
Not even Alistair Black.
Yeah.
That picture of Asuka looking at both of her awards is pretty great. Where she's like,
Look at how cool. She's still the crazy Asuka that was making videos from her palatial estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is. She really is.
she's
Even
the
now on
best.
Raw, she'll fight anybody and not always clean.
Her and Ember at the Royal Rumble, she was still very silly with her, despite how they resolved that relationship, kind of.
No, I never did.
Well, fine. Shoot.
They didn't.
shoot.
Ember lost.
NXT Tag Team of the Year?
We talked about Sanity.
Sanity.
Which
Sanity.
is weird. Like,
I guess that it's Sanity.
I probably would have given Tag Team of the Year to, like, any of the other tag teams. Like,
Really?
Well, because, like, Revival was only around for, like, until April, but, man, they had a really incredible
top of the
4
year.
months. But, like, DIY was around for the whole half of the year and, like, had, like, the hottest run of any tag team
DIY is
of
a
the
good
year,
choice.
Probably.
DIY is a good choice.
Authors of Pain were really dominant all
Authors,
year.
yeah.
Like, there were a lot. They won a Dusty. Like, oh, that was 2 years ago. But
Yeah, but they added a new author last year.
Yeah, it's
pretty
Yeah, they
Ghost Rider.
sure did.
Ghost Rider, Strong. But solid
As a rock.
choices. And, you know, the awards, they mean a lot. So I'm excited to see, like, to think of where we were last year with these awards and where we will be next year with these awards.
They should have a most iconic duo
They do.
award.
Award. No, no.
Oddly
it's
enough,
only ever
DIY
given to
won.
one. What?
Strangely enough, DIY won. That's weird. It was really weird.
It actually went to Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Not too surprising. That wasn't a fan vote. That was just a company one. But that'll do it for this episode of the NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV.
We did it.
Your home for Smurf Chat.
Yeah.
Snork Talk.
Well, we got 3 minutes left.
I mean, I figure our outros will take a minute or two.
Snork Chat.
And Gabin Ball Z.
Gabbin Balls.
Gabbin
Gabin
Balls.
Ball Z.
Gabbin Ball Z.
Yeah.
Gabbin. Listen, Gabbin. Whatever. Thank you for dealing with us. That's all we got. We're gonna
Digimon theme song.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimons are the champions. Change into digital champions to save the digital world.
I wasn't expecting.
That was every Saturday morning for me, Bill.
Yeah.
I will thank you very much.
Digimon rule.
Digimon, I was in the damn
Really
theater.
cool.
I was one of 5 people in that theater for the Digimon movie, and man, was that a good
It's a
flick.
good movie.
Anyway,
Yeah.
When Pikachu died. Tucker!
you were saying?
Check out me. Just check me out.
No, seriously, check me out.
Check me out. You can find me on all social media at Sundown Motel. I could use some more Instagram followers, please and thank you.
Hey.
And you can check out withspanics.com, uprocks.com/pro wrestling, uprocks.com. And just today we uploaded a new episode of McMahon's Splaining. What's happening?
He's
over
rolling
here?
his wrist.
Rolling my wrist.
You can
wrist
check out a new
issues.
episode of McMahon's Splaining that we uploaded today, the With Hispanics podcast, with our very special guest, Jimmy Jacobs himself.
Jimmy
Jacobs.
Jam Jacobs.
Jiminy
in the
Jacobs.
It
house.
was a great
Jimmy
conversation.
Jacobs.
Great conversation. Please go check that out. We're pretty pleased with how it came out. And that's all.
Hey, Hobo.
Yep.
How about you?
I'm on the social medias at True Hobo. That's the Instagram and the Twitter. This Sunday I'm wrestling, and this is true, at Carrot Mania.
Ooh.
Down in near Mexico. It's like
Are
Your
the-
eyesight's going to be so good.
Central.
Are
Yeah.
Radioactive Chickenhead's gonna be there?
I do not think so.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I'm wrestling at Carrot Mania. which
Wrestling a big carrot?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Carrot Top.
It's
If you
a
wrestle
carrot.
Top, that would be amazing.
Well, not that Carrot Top. Different Carrot Top.
It's a carrot festival, and they wanted wrestling, so I'm gonna be there.
Sure, when I think of carrots,
I think of the hobo.
well, there are a lot of orange wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Orange Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Soapbox Car TV on the YouTube if you want to see the videos of the hobo or the Banes.
And nxteam.spreadshirt.com to help support the show. We've got some silly shirts up there. I'm going to be on the Schmodown Inner Geekdom Fatal 5-Way match, which is going to be coming up next Tuesday over there on Collider. Thanks to Christian Harloff and all the folks over there for inviting me in. It was a wonderful experience. And if you want to see a different side, if you want to see another part of me, I've been watching a lot of Captain EO. Anyway, make sure to check that out. More information on Twitter at Mark Donica. Thanks everybody here at AfterBuzz TV. Make sure to watch X-Pac 12360 and follow everybody here at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. I'm gonna buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.